This is Dawn Ramos, Journal Week 1 for Health and Wellness Promotion Throughout the Lifespan. The 7 components of wellness are physical, which is the ability to function and move and maintain homeostasis, general bodily health. That's getting good food, nutrition, exercise, generally being able to take care of yourself, get dressed, and perform day-to-day activities. Social, which is interpersonal interactions with other people in a healthful and positive manner. The ability to speak with people on a personal level, to interact with people that you may or may not know very well in a work or school environment, and be able to talk with them in a well thought out way, be able to communicate and interact in a positive manner. Emotional, which is how we deal with stress and express ourselves in a healthful manner. For example, emotional health would be going to the therapist and talking something out rather than keeping your emotions bottled in until you lash out and physically harm yourself or somebody else, or cause emotional damage to them, even verbally. So emotional health is a pretty big one. Intellectual health is how we learn and use our ability to learn to gain for ourselves and develop our own lives and the lives of those around us. It's how we process information. We all have different ways of learning. We can be a contact learner, we can be visual learners, we can be audio learners. Everybody's learning style is going to be different, and how we are able to apply that is unique to everybody. Occupational, which is the ability to manage all of our activities in a fairly non-chaotic way, or at least we would like to. That's school, work, fun, social activities, you know, whether we're going to hang out with our friends or play video games or do homework, things like that. We need to find a good balance on how to get all those things to work together. Environmental, that's how we promote health, by making sure our environment is sound. You know, not leaving garbage around, not leaving knives in the floor or broken glass, you know, very common sense sort of things. You know, keeping your environment pretty much clean, free of contaminants, things that could cause illness or bodily harm or emotional harm. And that goes far beyond just the personal home, but also it goes into our communities and everything else. But I'm focusing a little bit more on the personal aspects here. Spiritual, how we connect, how we feel connected to ourselves, to each other, to a higher power. It kind of encourages a mental peace. It helps us to feel not so alone in the universe. If we are not so great at the social aspects of our lives, for example, we might be a little bit more spiritual. And that's something that a lot of people find a lot of comfort in, and that helps with the emotional aspect as well. On the activity, I scored a 55, which is, I would probably guess that would be probably an average number. My 3 weakest dimensions of health would be physical, social, and occupational. While I do have a very physically demanding job, I wait tables. And I'm moving constantly, and I walk several blocks to the bus stop to and from work every day. I don't eat as healthy as I ought to. I don't get as much sleep as I should. I'm constantly tired. Social, I don't really go out much. I have anxiety disorders, social anxiety disorders, post-traumatic stress disorder, and I have been diagnosed as mild agoraphobic, so I don't really care to go out. I have very few people that I associate with. It's just how I happen to be. Occupational, I have difficulty with that because the hours of my job are not, they're not insane, but they're long hours. I have to start getting ready for work at 11 in the morning. I often don't get back until midnight or sometimes later, depending on if I have to work a double. We're short, so it's hard. Strongest, I would think, would be intellectual, environmental, and spiritual. I enjoy my studying. I like having good, long, intellectual conversations with other people and comparing ideas and thoughts. Environmental, I'm a bit OCD, so I try to keep my environment as clean and calm as possible. I don't know if you can hear it in the background, but I've got a fountain running in the back. That kind of helps me. It's a nice little white noise thing. Spiritual, while I'm not active, I guess, practicing anything in particular, I consider myself pagan, and basically outside is church for me. So, I mean, every time I go outside, every time I take a walk, I feel connected to everything. Um, the life factors, I guess, that led to this are that I have gone through some very difficult and traumatic times in my life, dealing with military upbringing, um, absent parents, abusive ex-husband, motherhood, divorce, the entire 9 yards. So I've learned that you've got to be a little bit more intellectual. You've got to be a bit more spiritual if you're going to get yourself through these things, because if you don't have faith in something, whether it's yourself, some sort of a higher power, or even your support network, you're not going to get as far as you would like, because it's just terribly difficult. Um, One way I could improve one of my weakest dimensions, which I would probably say my physical, is try to get some more sleep than I do. I sleep very little. I sleep poorly. I suffer from night terrors. I also have sleep apnea, and the CPAP machine is very uncomfortable, so I find myself waking up frequently just because of that. Um, so yeah, I hope this has been interesting at the very least, and thank you.